Hello everyone, let's start our today's video. Today in the video we will be discussing about some of the important non-food crops, and after that we will also be discussing about various technological and institutional reforms. Let's start with the explanation of the first non-food crop, that is rubber. So rubber is an equatorial crop, and but if we talk about certain special condition, it is also grown in tropical as well as subtropical areas. If we talk about the temperature requirement, it requires moist and humid climate with a rainfall of more than 200 centimeters, and it requires a temperature above 25 degree Celsius. A very important industrial raw material rubber is, and it is mainly grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Garo Hills of Meghalaya. Indian ranking we talk about, so India ranks 5th among the world's natural rubber producers. Now as you can see this flowchart in front of your screens right now, this flowchart clearly shows the consumption of natural rubber. So the maximum portion, the blue colored portion, is used up by the auto tires and tubes industries, then cycle tires and tubes, camelback, footwears, belts and horses, latex foam, dipped goods, and also there are various other uses of natural rubber. And also very importantly, don't forget that rubber is a very important raw material for various industries. Now the next we are talking about is the fiber crops. If we talk about the fiber crops, then fiber crops contain cotton, jute, hemp and even natural silk. These are the four major fiber crops that are grown in India. Now the first three, that is if we talk about cotton, jute and hemp, these are basically derived from the crops that are grown in the soil, and silk is obtained from silkworms. We all know that, and silkworms are fed on green leaves, especially mulberry leaves. So we obtain silk from silkworms, and rearing of silkworms for the production of silk is called as sericulture. So this is a very important question that can even come in your exam for 1 marker question or as a MCQ question, that what is sericulture? Then you will write rearing of silkworms for the production of silk fiber is known as sericulture. Now next very importantly comes cotton. So India is believed to be the original home of cotton plant, and as we all know that cotton is grown in black soil. Now one of the main raw material for the cotton textile industry is cotton, and India is the third largest producer of cotton in the world. And Indian cotton, if I tell you, is one of the best quality of cotton that is there in the world market or international market. Now cotton grows well in the drier parts of the black soil of Deccan Plateau, and if we talk about the temperature requirement, so it requires high temperature, very light rainfall and 210 frost free days, and very importantly bright sunshine for its better growth. It is a kharif crop, that is it is a summer crop and requires 8 to 10 months to mature. Now some of the states that are growing cotton are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. These are the states that are the major cotton producing states. Now let's start with the second part of the video. Now we will be talking about some of the very important technological and institutional reforms. Now as we all know that agriculture is a primary activity in India, and agriculture is being practiced in India for around thousands of years. Now the sustained uses of land without the compatible techno-institutional changes actually have hindered the pace of agricultural development. So due to the lack of techno institutional changes, or the land sometimes is not compatible with those changes, it has actually hindered or actually slowed down the pace of agricultural development in India. Now, the question arises that why has India not improved in technical and institutional reforms in agriculture? So, why it is so that there is the hampering of agricultural development in India due to the lack of technical and institutional reforms, or why India has not improved in this field? Now, if we talk about, in spite of development of various sources of irrigation, most of the farmers in large parts of the country, they are totally dependent on monsoon and natural fertility of the soil, so that they can get good produce from their agriculture or from their crops that are they growing. Now, agriculture requires serious technical and institutional reforms for a better production. Now, collectivization, consolidation of holdings, cooperation and abolition of zamindari, etc. These are various important things that are given priority so that the reforms can be brought about in the country after independence. So, the importance, or you can say, all the focus was on the collectivization or consolidation of holdings or cooperation and abolition of the zamindari system, etc., rather than on agricultural development. Now, land is very important, and land focus was the main focus of the first 5-year plan that was being passed. So, the right of inheritance, this had actually led to the fragmentation of land holdings, as I told you. So, there was this big land, and a father has 4 sons. So, the big land was again divided into 4 equal parts or 4 small holdings. So, there is, in this way, fragmentation of land holdings was done because of the right of inheritance. Now, various laws were there which were there regarding the land reforms. These were enacted, but the laws of implementations were lacking. So, the laws were made, but the implementation was not done. Now, a very important question then arises that what are the steps that are being taken up by the government in the agricultural reforms? So, the question arises that what actually the government is doing, what type of reforms that the government has brought about. Now, the government of India, it has actually embarked upon introduction of the agricultural reforms so that there is improvement in Indian agriculture in the 1960s and 1970s. A very important step was the Green Revolution, that was totally based on the use of packaged technology, or you can say the modern farming methods. Now, very importantly, one more step was there, that was the White Revolution. Now, here were some of the strategies. Green Revolution and White Revolution are very important strategies that were being initiated so that Indian agriculture could improve. But these strategies had actually led to the concentration of development in few selected areas. So, the development is not whole, or you can say the development is not equal in all the places, rather, it is confined to only few selected areas. Now, therefore, if we talk about in 1980s and 1990s, a comprehensive land development program was also initiated, and this plan actually included both institutional and as well as technical reforms. Now, there was this provision of crop insurance that was against calamities, or establishment of Grameen banks was there, cooperative societies were established, banks were therefore providing loan facilities to the farmers at lower rates of interest. So, these were some of the very important steps that were being taken in favor of the farmers or in favor of the agriculture, or these were some of the facilities that were being provided by the government to the farmers. Now, there were various other steps also that were being taken up by the government. that is the Kisan Credit Card or the KCC, the Personal Accident Insurance Scheme, that is PAIS. These are Kisan Credit Card and the Personal Accident Insurance Scheme. These are the two schemes that were introduced by the Government of India for the betterment of the farmers. Now, if you talk about the weather bulletins or agricultural programs for the farmers, these types of programs or the weather bulletin for farmers were being introduced on the radio and television so that the news or the information can reach the farmers also at right time. Now, the government also announces minimum support price, remunerative and procurement prices for the important crops so that no exploitation of farmers is there by the speculators or the middlemen. So, children, that's all for today. Thank you so much. We'll come back again with the next video with the next topic. Till then, thank you so much.